Alrighty, so we got short nose replacement Trevin Jones, who's been itching for a fight. A bunch of opponents have pulled out of him at the last minute, and hopefully he gets to the fight. He gets to the cage this time, and I think it could be quite an entertaining fight. Both these guys are very entertaining. Both bring it. Both have knockout power, and his opponent is Martinez, who's making his UFC debut. He was on the Contender Series, lost to Draco Rodriguez, quick loss, can't really take too much from it, got caught in a scramble, and got triangled. Didn't tap though, which, you always love to see on the Contender Series, and I think that's why they brought him back here after 2 quick wins on the regional circuit. But yeah, he's entertaining, he's got knockout power, and it should be quite an entertaining fight on paper. So Martinez, he has a 3-inch height advantage, same in reach. Wouldn't be surprised if Martinez actually has a little bit of reach on Trevin Jones, but it is what it is. I'll go by Tapology there. On the feet, Trevin Jones, he's a southpaw. He's mostly throwing singular strikes. I think he's much better when he's countering. When he's trying to lead the dance, he telegraphs his shots a little bit too much. Basically everything he throws is telegraphed when he's not countering, so I think he's much better when he is countering. When he's countering, he's got a nice counter 3, as we saw he dropped, what's his name, Timur Valiev with. Also, kind of, more of a lead uppercut, but it was the counter lead hand against Mario Batista, so he's obviously got a lot of power in that lead hand, that left hand of his. Also likes the low kicks as well, sprinkles in the low kicks every now and then, like the inside low kick, their lead leg outside low kick when he's facing orthodox opponents. Martinez, he's known to switch stance, so potentially the outside low calf kick could be here for Trevin Jones, but I think mostly Martinez is going to be fighting an orthodox in this fight. But yeah, Martinez, he's light on his feet, he's always moving his head, he's always moving his hands, he's always moving his feet. He's giving you a lot to think about, and he's got nice hands too. He uses those feints to set up his shots, but he's got very nice counters, very nice inside boxing. He's probably left-hand dominant, so kind of the lead hand generally for him as well. Same as Trevin Jones, both are lead hand dominant, but as I said before, Martinez, he will switch stance and throw that left straight down the middle and then, pop that off, but predominantly he's an orthodox, and he's got a really nice left hook. So a left hook in the pocket, always looking for that left hook in the pocket, lead left hook, just leads with it, quite fast with it. He's very tight in everything he throws. I think he's got quite nice hands, in my opinion. He does throw low kicks as well. Both these guys quite similar on the feet, really. They both throw the same type of strikes. Both throw the hook from the lead hand, and both throw the low kicks. But for Martinez, he does leave himself a little bit vulnerable when he is throwing the low calf kick, because he just throws it in like boxing range without setting it up. Trevin Jones kind of leans back while he's doing it, but also sets it up with a feint, but also doesn't fully commit to it. I feel like Martinez fully commits to it in boxing range, which just isn't great because you're a little vulnerable in that position, especially now that you're off balance, that you're throwing the low calf kick. So yeah, we saw if you watch his Contender Series fight, he threw like 3 low calf kicks, got countered with a left hook from Draco, a straight right from Draco, and it was a body kick at the end, but Draco caught the body kick and took him down, and it was over after that. So yeah, maybe no low kicks for this fight, especially against the southpaw in Trevin Jones, who has that counter left hook. I mean the counter right hook, but also the counter straight left. So I don't think the kicks should be the move in this fight. But Trevin Jones, he's quite good at catching a kick. So yeah, I don't think the kicks are on for Martinez in this fight. Trevin Jones good at catching a kick and working a takedown from there. Trevin Jones also likes to get in the clinch and work his takedowns, the outside leg trip to finish a takedown in the clinch or in the body lock position. Inside trips as well. He's always looking for takedowns in the clinch. He will kind of level change a little bit predictably when he is pressured or when he gets blitzed upon. He kind of just ducks his head, goes for a level change instinctively, and that's pretty much what he does 100% of the time. So yeah, that is, dangerous, but it is what it is. Trevin Jones, he will give his back to get back to his feet. Fuck, just realised I've been recording full screen. Anyway, it is what it is. You'll see the write-up. So where was I? Yeah, Trevin Jones, he will give his back to get up basically in every scramble. And for Mana Martinez, he jumps guillotine. So, you know, two quite dangerous moves when you're facing a good grappler. I don't think either of these guys are very good grapplers. Trevin Jones definitely has the grappling advantage over Martinez though. But, you know, yeah, I just don't think Mana Martinez is going to take advantage of that back-giving tendency. Trevin Jones could take advantage of the jump guillotine tendency that Martinez has, definitely, but, you know, you've got to learn from that mistake because it was in his regional fight. He jumped guillotine, got taken down for about the whole round, and hopefully learn from that. You've got to learn from those mistakes. So how these guys win fights, so for Trevin Jones, he's got significant power in his right hand, not even mentioning his power hand, but he's also insanely hard to put away. He's been finished once in 20 fights, and that was a submission. You know, he went through hell in the first round of that Timur Valiev fight. A lot of guys would have just crumpled over from that, especially the body rips that he took after the initial body kick. Yeah, insanely durable. Looks like he can take a hell of a shot as well on the chin. Also, for Martinez, he has one-shot KO power. You know, both these guys have power for the division for sure. How these guys lose fights. For Trevin Jones, he's liable to be outworked, a little bit low volume, a little bit of lack of hustle, in my opinion. For Mana Martinez, subpar get-ups, ground game deficiencies as a whole. Jumping guillotine doesn't help when he doesn't have too much get-ups, so hopefully he's weeded that out of his game, but it is what it is. So, path to victory for these two. For Martinez, take the front foot by feinting a lot. Counter him when he's kicking, so when he's going for the outside low kicks, look for the counters there. And for Mana Martinez still actually, don't rush in when you do stun him, and no naked low kicks in boxing range. If you're going to throw any kicks at all, set it up, or throw it as a high kick. You know, no body kicks, he's going to try and catch it. Yeah, unless you've sharpened up your body kick, then you can throw it, but just from what I've seen, his kicks don't look... They're not his best weapon, so I wouldn't throw it in this fight. For Trevin Jones, the counter 3 when he does throw a kick in close, if he does throw those kicks. Also look to catch a kick, take him down, but primarily a wrestling heavy attack. How I see the fight going? In regards to the striking, I feel like the feints of Martinez are going to freeze Jones up a little bit. You know, when Timur was feinting a lot, Jones wasn't throwing too much. When Batista was feinting a lot, Jones wasn't throwing too much. He was just kind of waiting. So I feel like Martinez will be throwing a few more shots, you know, in the exchanges plus just in the in-betweens. Because he'll be throwing combinations while, Trevin Jones, he's looking for, you know, that one counter shot. Yeah, I think it's going to be quite a low volume fight in general, especially in the first round where I expect there's going to be an extended filling out process. Just gut feeling I have, I feel like that's going to happen. Both these guys have serious power in their hands, so maybe, you know, a lot of respect shown early. But I feel like Martinez lets his hands go a little bit more than Trevin Jones. I think Trevin is better defensively, but I also feel like he focuses on defense a little bit too much at times and falls behind on volume. Like, he's a really bad minute winner. He's probably won like 1 minute inside the UFC, maybe 2 minutes in his UFC career so far. And that's, yeah, in like 2 fights, and you wonder why his last 3 losses are split decisions. It's because he just doesn't do enough in fights. Like, he's not someone I want to bet as a favourite. Like, only 6 fights ago, he lost a decision to a guy who's 6-5. So, if his ceiling is just going to be one-shot KOs at 135, or a razor-thin split decision, then I don't think I'll ever bet him as a favourite unless he shows a little bit more urgency in this fight. But, you know, also, you know, low-key, he only has 4 KOs in his 20 fights. I don't think he's a KO artist or anything like that. You know, the guys that he KO'd, they leave a ton of openings, like Bautista and Timur Valiev. And as we've seen in subsequent fights, like Timur Valiev, he doesn't look like he has the best chin. He looks quite chinny, honestly. So, you know, potentially he doesn't have the power that what it looks like he has on paper. I'm not saying he doesn't have significant power, especially for the weight class. I think he does have power just with the way he hits. You know, guys you know, widen their eyes a little bit, and you can see that he has power for sure. But I just don't think he's this one hitter, and if he just touches you, you're gonna sleep. So, you know, I just don't think it's at that level. I feel like it's going to be competitive on the feet, as I said before. Bit of a chess match, potentially a bit low volume, but Mana's doing a little bit more. I think Jones should use his wrestling here. Like, Mana has not shown the best ground game or the best get-up game throughout his career so far, so there is a potential for Jones to lay and pray here, which is kind of what I thought he was going to do against Tony Kelly when that fight was announced. And same with, what's his name? Aaron Phillips. So, you know, he keeps facing these pretty suspect grapplers and these pretty average grapplers, but I don't know if his wrestling's all that anyway. You know, he's a black belt on the ground, but he's a bit of a lay and pray artist when he gets on top, and yeah, his wrestling's okay. It's nothing incredible. It's nothing amazing. Trips are a little bit sloppy, but it is what it is. He's definitely got the grappling advantage over Martinez, but yeah, it's just not enough for me to bet him as a favourite. So let's have a look at the betting lines. Alright, so if you guys could like the video, that'd be awesome. Cheers. Alright, so prediction is Mana by decision. I think it's going to take place in the feet for the most part. Jones getting a few clinch minutes, but, you know, Martinez just doing a bit more work on the feet. I think it's going to be very close. I think it's going to be like a split decision, gut feeling. Yeah, very close decision. Probably a bit of controversy around it. So yeah, that will be my 8th underdog for this card. So potential to definitely bite me in the ass. You know, 8 underdogs on a 13 card fight, 13 fight card. But you know, it is what it is. I'm just picking who I think's gonna win. I think it's basically a 50-50, but I'll pick Mana just to make it fun. Pick the dog. Probably bet Mana at $2.40, $1 plus 140. So yeah, I think that's the lowest I'd bet him. Ends in KO, you know, if you want to hedge yourself against Trevin Jones's power. But also Mana could absolutely find a kill shot as well. He has big power. Jones is durable, but you know, this guy cracks for sure. I feel like that line's going to be juiced though, so maybe even potentially not ends in KO or p-value. Like, yeah, it is what it is, but I just like the Martinez money line at the moment. I'm not going to go big just because of the unknowns, and you know, Trevin Jones is quite a solid, you know, a solid opponent, so I'm not too confident, but I don't want to bet Trevin Jones as a favourite for sure.